It's the Takeover with T-Roy and DJ Q45.
245, boo.
Okay, I'll reload it.
AK on my nightstand, AK on my nightstand, right next to that Bible. AK on my nightstand, right next to that Bible. But I swear with these 50 shots, I'll shoot it out with 5-0. AK on my nightstand, right next to that Bible. But I swear with these 50 shots, I'll shoot it out with 5-0. Pockets get
Absolutely not.
Definitely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Disgusting.
No, I haven't heard the song before, but I mean, it's definitely influential for what we deal with out there. This is where they get all any type of language or trend of violent crime, trend of doing something illegal. It's usually going to result back to this.
It's kind of like a computer. Whatever you put in it, that's what it's going to put out. And these kids are obviously getting access to this, and it's being pumped into them in a way where they don't see it as being anything other than entertainment, but it's still going into their brains, and they're acting out on this stuff. And we often run into kids with attitudes with the police because that's what's being pumped out in the music and I guess the TV shows. But I've never heard that before, but that just adds credence to that statement right there. That's ridiculous. There are communities where every other house, every 3 houses, you can pretty much guarantee that there's a AK-47 or a chopper in a house, every other apartment. And I mean, in those apartments and those complexes, most of them are designed and set up for females to live in, but men live there, and they're doing the dope game. And obviously, if you're doing a dope game, you need the equipment to protect yourself. So that's quite prevalent to find choppers.
I can assure you, if they heard that, because I've never heard that particular song, I'm sure they would feel the same way we feel. But also during my career, I have listened to guys, and I've interviewed some of the young ones, and I talked to them about these songs, and some of them actually listen to this to pump themselves up before they go out and do what they're going to do. If they know they're finna do some robberies, if they know they're going to a certain neighborhood to shoot it out with somebody, they listen to that, and that just pumps them up. You know, I've actually had them in the interview room, and while I'm watching them, without being in there with them, they're singing this stuff, and they're moving their heads, and they just gearing themselves up. And once they listen to that, and most of them are usually smoking drugs or weed, and they just listen to that, and they get pumped up, and then they go out and they use them. "28 years. God, I would say 1,000.
They just live it. That's real to them. When they hear that, that's real. That's what they go out and do.
And oddly enough, the people that are putting out the music aren't living it. It's a way for them to make money, and some of them see it as an artistic means of getting out whatever their talent is. But these kids on the street, they don't understand that. They take it as if that's their gospel, and that's dangerous.
Unfortunately, I mean, for this type of music, I'm pretty sure they can attest. We see kids repeating the lyrics to this. You're talking about early as 4 or 5 years old. So by the time they are of an age to where they have joined a clique with different kids in their neighborhood and able to obtain a weapon, this is not something they've been thinking about for 6 months or a year. This is something for the last 10 years that they've been fed, and now it becomes normal.
It becomes normal.
And we're being somewhat politically correct when we say cliques, because what we're really dealing with, this promotes gang violence, and it's prevalent here. I mean, I could tell you stories upon stories in my career. This stuff promotes gang activity, which promotes drug selling, the gun dealing, the whole nine. It's all interrelated.
I will say that although Clear Channel may bleep out some of the language, the kids still know it's enough to know, but then when they go out and buy it, the language is in there, you know, and that's what they know, that's what they sing. They can write those songs, they can sing those songs backwards and forward, and that's what's a big part of what's wrong with our community in all the neighborhood. That's what we deal with. That's what I've dealt with my whole career.